All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the pad. Hope you guys are doing good. Keep in between the lines. Got your load secure. You guys know I love music. And you know what? Something came across my eyeballs and ears the other day. And I'm like, who is this, man? Because I don't really know. But we're going to find out together. Let's go ahead and let's welcome in, bring in the homegirl, Gizzelle DeAnda. Let's bring her in here.
Hi,
What's going on, girlfriend?
how are you?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, all right, all right. So shout out to everybody that's in here. Bertha Deanda, Audi Familia, Mr. Odie. What's going on, man?
Yes, my
So
big followers.
okay, okay, okay. As well they should be. And I want to get into all that. But before we do that, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you what happened and how I came across you. So my boy Johnny David, right? I've been following him for a while. We've chopped it up a few times. Always good seeing my boy Johnny David, man. And he was talking about he's coming out with a new song, and I'm like, hey, cool. I'm a big fan of his. And then I see it's a duo with this redheaded girl who's got the voice, man, of just like an old school soulful voice. And I'm like, okay, who is this? Let me go ahead, check her out. I go and I start seeing what I could find of you. And you've been doing your thing for a minute. You have. You've been around for quite a few years. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and see what's up. And I liked what I saw and what I was hearing from the work that you've been putting out there. So let's go ahead and let's get into one Miss Gizzelle DeAnda. First of all, girlfriend, where'd you grow up at? Where you from? Parents, siblings, all that good stuff.
I grew up in El Monte. I went to
Okay.
school. I was basically went to school everything in El Monte. My mom grew up in La Puente. My dad, I believe, he's from LA. Um, I have two brothers. I am a middle child. I have a half sister. So there's two girls. Well, for my parents, there's two boys, one girl, and then we have our half sister.
Okay. Okay. El Monte. Shout outs to the SGV. I lived in Baldwin Park for a small time.
Okay,
Uh,
that's not far
yeah.
from me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, all that separated Almani and Baldwin Park was the 605 freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. That is it. Okay. All right. So all right, pretty simple growing up out in the SGV. Are you still in the San Gabriel Valley?
Yes. Well, I'm in,
Okay.
so it's just right here. It's not far.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Got you. All right, man. Shout outs to you. So, as a little girl, were you always looked at as a singer? Did you love singing? Were you just shy? Were you singing, alone? What was going on with Giselle?
As a little girl, I only spoke Spanish, and my mom liked Patsy Cline, so she'd always play Patsy Cline, and that's like kind of the first English songs that I learned at the time. And then growing up, music was always around, and I've always like just dug into any type of music I could hear. But I'd always say like I'm gonna be this and that, but I'm definitely gonna be a singer first. Like I have to be. That's what I want to be. So I've always pursued it, and I've never gave up on it. I just kind of felt like it would whatever I could get, grateful.
Okay, you said music was always around. What type of music are we talking about that was always around in your household and that you were just bumping all the time?
Well, honestly, a lot of music. So we would hear like anything from like Los Tucanes de Tijuana to like
Mm.
Chalino to like it could have been Vicente Fernandez, like just different styles of Charlie San. And then it went to like oldies and funk and definitely disco. Just every type of music you could think of. I had a brother who was a skater, so we heard punk rock, metal, and well, we grew up all pretty much kind of liking the rockabilly scene once we got a little older. So that's kind of what we got stuck in.
Okay, all right. The Rockabilly Queen, which we'll get into that in a second. But okay, did you say Chalino? You guys were bumping Chalino?
Yes, you don't even know. I'm so pumped. My mom just got vinyl, the new one that just came out, and I was like, "What?" So I had to put it on my record player, and I was like, "Look, look!" I was so excited.
Okay, okay, okay. Hey, to each their own, right? So, I mean, somebody makes music, at least one person's gonna like it. So,
Yes.
but no, that's good. So, music was always around the household. There was a big influence. And when did you start picking up singing? When you were like, okay, I think I'm pretty good, or was it others that said like, "Hey, Giselle, you know what? You do have some pipes on you, girl. You do sound pretty damn good." Like, around what age was that coming around?
I would like to say like I guess the minute I kind of really started singing, they would laugh because they would always tell me like, "How can she use her voice like that? Like, how does she do that with her voice?" And it was a lot of vibrato stuff. I My mom was always the one to like encourage it. She wouldn't push me to do it, but she would just be like, "Mia, sing that song," and I'd be like, "Okay." So my mom would like we'd have like karaoke at school for like health events, and I think I was in fourth grade, and I would stand up and like sing my mom like ballads and just different songs. My mom just would always tell me like, "You have a gift." Well, I love singing, but I never knew if I was good enough. I just knew that I loved to do it. Like without music, I felt not myself.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, I felt that way with music as well, but I can't sing for a lick. But I really love music and bumping it, and it definitely had a big influence and the passion in my life too. But no, I'm not. There's no way I'm picking up a mic and singing. So I got 2 ears, so I'll just go ahead and listen and feel the music. So I'll leave that up to you. So take us through the first time or any time that it was like, okay, you know what? Maybe we gotta take this a little bit more serious. Did anybody say like, hey, you know what? They have open mic over here or over there, or what was your first time, or was it just at a random birthday party or get together where it's like, hey, you know what? Giselle, she can actually sing, shoot her the mic or something. Like, when was the first time that you sang in front of an audience, whether it be a huge Christmas party or birthday party or anything like that?
The biggest audience I sang in front of probably was when I was in fifth grade. I got the lead role to be Belle in a play, and I had an audition, which was really scary because no fifth grader got the part. Normally, it was the sixth graders, and I got the part. And I just remember it was so exciting, and my brother was annoyed by me. I learned the whole script. Like, so I knew everybody's parts. I was so excited. And my mom would just be like, "How do you not like learn your schoolwork the way you learn these scripts?" And I was like, "It's just different. You don't understand."
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm sure the sixth graders were hating on you.
Oh,
Oh,
totally, for sure. And I felt bad, but I was so excited. But that I would like to say that's the first time I really sing that I could remember of. Other than that, I give credit where it's due on who helped me get a band started, which was my daughter's dad. He came to me and asked me like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I was like, "I want to be a singer." And he was like, "Let me hear you sing." And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Let me hear you sing." So I did. And he was like, "I'll call you back." And I was like, "What does that even mean?" So then, like, an hour and a half later, he called me back and he's like, "Hey, sing again." And I was like, "No, why?" And then I did. And the next, like a week later, he put a whole band together for me. And I was like, "Okay, like, cool." So
wow.
he's the one who got me my first like band gigs and everything going.
Okay. Okay. So I want to get to that in just a second, but I do want to ask, what kind of student were you in
Um,
school?
I was always who tried to help everybody, who talked too much, always concerned when people were down. Like, "What's wrong with you? Are you okay?" Like, I was always that friendly girl, like, was trying to help everybody, but never got her work done 'cause she was just trying to help everybody.
Mm,
My mom
mm.
always tell me, "You gotta finish yours first."
Okay, okay. So did you get good grades, bad grades?
I got decent
In be
grades.
Oh, decent. That was the next one. I said good, I said bad, then I was reaching for decent. So we're gonna get there at some point.
Moments too, I'm not gonna lie. I was young and dumb, and I don't know, I just was having fun.
As a little girl, did you want to be a singer, or was there something else that you were looking at?
Oh no, I wanted to be a singer. That was always like, I mean, I thought about being a vet, but then the idea of putting animals to sleep, I was like, I can't do that, no. And then, but I never second guessed knowing that I really wanted to sing. Like singing, it just makes me feel whole. Like I feel when I'm not, like during COVID when I wasn't really gigging the way I used to, I was so heartbroken. Like I felt like something was missing. Like it was just different. It was sad.
It was at that time you wanna put animals to sleep, huh?
No, never. I was
Okay,
no,
got it. Alright. Okay, alright, I thought that's where we are going. Okay,
no.
I'm sorry. Alright, okay. Okay, alright, so let's stick to the singing and let's leave the animals alone.
Yeah,
Let's leave let them live and be alive.
yes, for sure.
So okay, so you get the band together. Where are you in your life at this time? Around your age or what year that just like, okay, I got my band together and we're gonna go do a couple of little gigs and talk to us a little bit about the gigs. Like I said, were you guys going to backyards? Were you guys going to, little get-togethers, or were you guys going to a club? Where were you guys going?
So, I mean, it's okay to say it now because it was a very long time ago, but I was playing at bars at the age of 16.
Oh,
And
okay.
I would lie about my age a lot just to get in. I mean, I wasn't into drinking at all. Like I didn't drink. I was actually a very like I was scared. I was very afraid of my mother. Like if my mom found out that I was drinking or doing something I wasn't, oh, it was the end of the world. Like I would be in the biggest trouble ever. And so my daughter's dad, his name's Jose, he got me to start gigging. And I want to say like within a year, I started doing background vocals for like really big artists when they were playing the scene. So like I've got to do background vocals for like Ruth Brown and open up for Chuck Berry and Lloyd Price, like big act names. Been on bills with people. All my gigs were. I had a few in LA at the time, but a majority of my gigs were overseas. So I was always in Europe, just playing Europe, playing the UK, Brazil. Like it was. It all just started happening so fast, and I was just like I used to think like, okay, what can I do to grow? But I was like, that's very selfish of me because music has got me to see the world. Like I would get sad because I didn't have many gigs home. I wanted to play in LA. I wanted to play all over like all over California, all over the states. Like not just like Europe. I'm very grateful for that fan base because it's a whole different eye opener when you play overseas. It's just music's everything to them. You could sing the boringest ballad in the world, and they just listen to you. They don't care if it's not a rock and roll song that you like get crazy to. They listen to you, and it's like, you guys really hear me? Like, okay. And you see people crying, and you're just like, you're feeling the words. I love this. Like, thank you. Like, because a lot of songs that I would pick, I had to understand them. And, you know, um, being young at the time, traveling then, like, I had already gone through a lot, but my biggest focus was my daughter and then music. So I just kind of stood on that.
Now, hang on. You said a year later, so you were 17
To
touring the
no,
world?
no, I'm sorry. When I was 18, I joined like this little independent label, and I did my
Okay.
first gigs with them. I was playing Vegas, this big car show called Viva Las Vegas. I
Mhm.
remember I was so disappointed because the first time I went, I wasn't even legal to drink or anything like that. So I was like, "This, I can't even touch a slot machine if I wanted to. I'll get in trouble." So I was like, "This is dumb," and I just was around drunks, and I'm like, "This is so annoying." And obviously, I had my daughter very young. I was 17 years old, so I was very annoyed by people when they were drunk around me. I was just kind of like, "Oh, yeah, this is what I have to deal with."
Mhm.
So I had yeah. So right after I had Gisabella, I started touring. So I was about 18 years old.
That's still pretty young to be touring the world, and you say you went down to South America to Brazil? Did I hear that right?
Brazil, I did go to Brazil. I can't remember what year it was. So I have they became friends. I have these friends that were fans, and the wife like loved me. And for her birthday, she asked her husband to book me for as a gift for one of their events, and they flew me out there. they had a big old barbecue before I left for me, and I was just like, dang, they sure do it up. They do everything amazing over there. The meat is cooked differently. It tastes so much different. The teas are phenomenal. They have like herbs with this net. It's like crazy.
Wow. Okay. And how long did you do that for? You were 18 years old. How long did you go to Europe and Brazil? How long were you doing this for?
Brazil, I've only got to go there once. Europe, it's always like I was just in Europe. I want to say in August, August or September. I had a gig out there in Switzerland, and I want to say it was August. And before that, I had toured for like 2 weeks. I was in I went out to Amsterdam and to we went to where else did we go? Amsterdam, but we went to Belgium, the UK. Uh, we went a couple places. I went to Dublin. I took my mom with me for the first time there. It was so much fun. She got to see the difference, and she was like, everybody's so nice. I was like, I told you, it's a whole different vibe. Like, and I don't like to, like, a lot of times before when I was younger and my daughter was younger, like, and I would work and I'd have to be a mom, and it was so tiring that when I'd go, sometimes I would just want to go and sleep because I was so tired. And then after a while I was like, no, you're here, like, live, you have no responsibilities right now. So I started to make friends, and instead of staying in my room, I would hang out with my friends in the moment, and I would just, I would. After that, we became so close to where I text him like, "Hey, I'm gonna be out there. Meet me at this hotel. Like, you could stay with me. Don't worry about it." So I'd have my friends from Germany drive to me when I'd be like in France, or they'd fly out to Portugal, like Spain. They would just come meet me there, and I'd be like, "No, you have a room. We have a room together. Don't worry. Like, you guys could stay with me." And it's amazing how much they became like my family.
Wow. That I gotta tell you that's pretty freedom right there that you got actually friends, different places of the world. I know some people have friends, but it's all like social media friends.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I got my friend, out in Ireland and everything like that. But it's like, yeah, I'm sure they are, but you guys are screen friends, where in your case, they go out, they watch you perform, you can
We
go over there,
drink
you
together. We go to dinner together. Yeah.
wow,
The
wow, wow, wow.
thing that I love to do, especially when I get to the UK for a certain promoter, he uses the same bodyguards. And like every time I get there, I'll like walk up behind them, like, "Hey, I'm here." And they're like, "Oh," and they'll just grab me and kiss me. And I'm just like, "Guys, what's up? Go get sushi or what?" And start laughing.
Wow, okay, so you got a nice little following over there. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I did not expect to hear that you're over there across the pond, rocking the mic. So, okay. So, and you've been doing this for many years. You said you just came back not too long ago?
Yes, I was there last year. Or wait,
Okay.
we're not even in the. I'm so sorry. We're in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just there in September and August. Sorry.
Okay. 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 So, while you were doing that, were you catching any traction here in the States like you said you wanted to, or was it just kind of other places outside of the US? Like like you mentioned earlier, it's like, man, I wanna, be singing here and in California and here in the States and all. Were you catching any traction?
I mean, I had a few gigs here and there here. It was just kind of hard because like the rockabilly scene is it's big but yet small, and like it's not like, I mean, I don't even know how to say it, but like it's different. Like out here, I felt like if I wasn't like I'm not cool. I'm just a singer. Like I always tell people, like, I sing, that's it. Like I'm not a crazy performer. Like I wish I could put on a crazy show, but it's not me. Like I just love to sing. And I felt like, I don't know. I just would have small gigs here and there, or like fill-in gigs, and we would do a lot of shows called The Lookout. It was basically like this really cool groove orchestra that plays, and like I would do a few songs, and another act would do a few songs with them, and that was fun. I just recently did a Dapper Day at Disneyland for Disneyland Hotel. That was really cool. Everybody's all decked out, looking all retro, and it's really cool.
Yeah, my primo's a huge rockabilly man. He's a big time rockabilly. So are you saying that rockabilly is a lot bigger across the pond?
I would like to say it is. It really is.
Really?
I've played huge festivals on a Thursday night, and it's like, this is a Thursday? Like, that's wild. Like, it's huge. Like, it's crazy. It's not like a bar thing. It's like in Europe they have holidays. So when they have holidays, they'll shut down. Like, say I was in Switzerland and they closed out. Here's the stage. They closed out all of this part of the city, and it was filled with just people, and it's random people. So it could be just a random guy that's not into rockabilly, and they just come and they come to the show.
Wow, I you're blowing my mind. I would not expect to for rockabilly to be huge, on the other side of the world. But okay, hey, shout outs to them over there across the pond. So, who were some of your favorites and somebody who inspired you while you were growing up to say, like, man, I wish I could sing like her or something like that?
Ruth Brown, one of them for sure.
Okay.
I remember meeting her, and I was just like, she was like, "Little girl, do you even know my music?" And I was 17, scared. She was like really feisty, and I was just kind of like, "Yes," thinking in my head, but I'm like, and I just remember thinking like, you're my, like, I want to be just like you, because she would sing, and she would sing so aggressive and barely move that it looked like she was doing so much just by the attitude she was giving with her facial reactions. I was like, sheesh, like, she's vicious right now. So I would say Ruth Brown, Barbara Mason, Barbara Lynn was amazing. She's a great person too. uh Maxine Brown.
Mm.
There's so many, because I don't just listen to, like, I love soul. I love like Sharon Jones, uh Phyllis Dillon. She's the rock steady queen of Jamaica from the 60s. uh there's just so many artists that I can't really pick one, but I could tell you different things that I like about all of them. Like, some of them have crazy vibratos, like Winona Carr. She would use her voice in so many crazy ways. When I was 16, 17, I'd always want to sing her songs, because her songs just had so much excitement by the way her vocals would just consistently, like, she would pull them around at her, and I was like, okay, I like that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Get down with your bad self. So here you are now. I've looked you up. I've looked up a couple of different songs that you've made, a couple of remakes that you've done. You've done some pretty good job on some of them. I don't think I've ever heard a version of "Try Me" by a female.
Hmm.
And when I heard your version, I was just like, "Okay, how is this gonna work out by a girl?" And, you did good. You did
Thank
good. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I was just like, "Oh, okay, okay, let's see what else she's got." So, okay, now take us through here. Okay, so you're here, you're gaining a little bit of traction. How are you getting recognized, to start doing some shows here?
I've actually been getting a lot of DMs lately, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay." Like, it's really exciting, and unexpected. I've had people reach out and tell me like they want to do shows with me, and a lot of radio shows have been writing to me too as well lately, or asking if they could play my music, and I'm like, "Yeah, of course, I would appreciate that." But I it's just, honestly, I'm just kind of like surprised with everything, because again, I've been doing it for years, but I guess it's a whole new crowd now that it's like different. And yeah, I mean, I'll ask my friend like, "What do we do?" And he's the one that plays guitar. His name's Horacio Perez. He's one of my best friends, and I call him and I'm like, "Hey, did you see this? Like, what do I say?" And he's like, "Just be yourself." And I'm like, "What if I say something goofy?" And he just laughs. He's like, "Oh my God, Giselle." And I'm like, I know."
Okay, 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 okay. So, hey, look, you see, I mean, the best years are still ahead of you. Um, I'm gonna say that because, like I said, I've never really heard your name or anything until I saw that music video, and then I go back and I'm like, hey, wait a second, you go back quite a few years, as at least stuff that I was able to find. I think the oldest thing I was able to find, it was like 10 years ago or something like that. It was some live event or something. And I was checking it out. I'm like, okay, how come I never heard of this girl, man? Because this girl's bringing it. So, what is it that you want to do? How far do you want to go with this career here?
I honestly, if I comfortably doing what I love, that would make the happiest person in the world. I like I think once my daughter like was really like involved like in school activities and being in school, and I kind of was like, what do I do with myself now? Like my whole world revolves around her. And and at the time I was like, okay, what if music doesn't work out? Like I was going to Europe a lot, and I was like, what else can I do? And that's when I went to beauty school, and I realized doing hair, you always play music. So I always sang along while doing people's hair. But then at the same time, like I didn't want to work for anybody or work for a salon, because I just felt like a lot of women could be so catty. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't be getting mad at each other. We should be getting along. Like we're a team.
Mhm.
And then I started working for my mom's business, which was in the medical field, and watching her see that grow. And then from there, we just joined another medical field with a company. And I just I look at everything that I've done, and I'm like, this isn't what I want to do, or this isn't where I want to be. Like if I could do music for the rest of my life, it would make me so happy. But at the same time, it's one of the hardest things to really do, because everyone's gonna like you and not everyone's gonna accept you. And I just I think that's why I get so nervous when I do sing and I close my eyes a lot, because I always get like, what if they don't like me? Like I'm just gonna close my eyes and concentrate on what I'm doing, and just hope they like it.
Yeah, I've really been digging a lot of the artists that have really been coming up and doing their thing, and I've really tried to support as many as I possibly could. Um, and when I hear you sing, I hear on like an old school, like an old soul type of voice, like I said in the beginning. There's a little bit of a different twist with your voice, like an old soulful voice, and you can really bring some songs alive. And I've always said this, that type of music, you don't listen to it and you don't hear it, you feel it.
Yeah.
That's what's so special about the music, right? Stop listening, stop hearing it, start feeling it. And when when I was bumping your jams, the ones that you had, I'm like, okay, I'm closing my eyes, I'm just feeling, I'm like, it just has some old soulful feeling to it. I'm like, okay, okay, cool. She's got this. She's got this. So hopefully, she can start doing a lot more. Let's get a little bit to the music video that you did out on PCH, which if you guys look behind us, that's the picture there that you did with my boy Johnny David. He's right here.
Johnny.
Yeah, and since you do hair, maybe one day Johnny and I could book an appointment and you could do both of our hairs. But um, how did you come up with that gig right there with Johnny David?
So I met Johnny in Chicago, and I met him. He was playing with Coda. We all had a gig. It was a Latin museum, like a Mexican museum, that we had to go perform at. And I remember seeing Johnny there. He was very reserved. He was very quiet, out of, like not trying to be in the limelight, like just. And so I didn't really talk there. And then I seen him there. We talked a little more, but we'd always kind of talk like on social media. And then he would come out to like little gigs that I would have out here, like when I do little like fundraiser things for a vintage shop that we go to. It's called Space City. It's in LA. So I would go there, and Johnny came out, and I played Ventura, Johnny came out, and we would always talk about it. And I would be like, hey, like, we should totally sing together. And he'd be like, yeah, dude, that would be so cool. So I was like, yeah. And it just happened. Like, one day we were talking, and Johnny was like, hey, I have an idea. And then I was like, I love that song. Yeah, I know exactly what song you're talking about. Let's do it. So we did. And it was weird because going into the studio with Johnny, like, I was so nervous because Johnny's a great singer. He's a great person, and I was so nervous to sing in front of him. Like, it was just different. And we got into the studio and it was so smooth. Like, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And we recorded it really, like, it wasn't a lot of takes we had to do. It was kind of like, hey, do this. Hey, do this. Okay, you guys can't sing together. Like, Johnny go first, I'll go after. And I'm like, okay, and it just worked. And I think we had like this great chemistry where it just kind of like made we were comfortable around each other. When we shot the video, I was so nervous because I had never shot a video, and as it is, like, I even told him, like, I don't want the camera to look into my eyes, like, it's just weird, don't let it like look at me direct. And every time it would, like, I'd kind of, there's a part where I'm in the car and you could see the camera, like, it's right here, and I kind of like go like this because I just don't know, like, I was nervous. And there was a part where like we're recording it and Johnny like grabbed me and started dancing with me, and I was just kind of like, he kind of was really the reason why he kind of broke the ice for me, but at the same time I was still super nervous.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, Johnny, in my opinion, one of the, probably the greatest male voice there is,
Oh,
today. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, so this was the first music video that you've ever done?
yeah,
I guess it makes sense because I wasn't able to find a music video of you. I was able to find videos of you, but they were live. They were
yeah.
live videos. So, okay, so this was your first music video. How did you guys choose a location? Did you have any say so, or you just kind of went with whatever it is that they wanted?
Johnny had this idea. He had a vision. And he just said, like, he was like, I'm thinking, there's this place, Magoo Rock. It will be great. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, well, whatever you say, like, whatever you're. And I would just tell him, like, what are you going to wear? What should I wear? Should I wear this? Should I wear that? Like, yeah, yeah, that works. Okay, cool. But he really had it all planned out in his head. So I give him all the credit on that. I had no say in it. It was all him.
Okay. Since that, have people been getting at you a little bit more and more? I know you were talking about a couple of DMs, people getting at you, but since that video, have people been reaching out to you more and more?
Yes, and a lot of people reach out, and they're just like, wow, it's so good. A lot of people that say they play it, and it's funny because a lot of people DM us both on the whole, like, you guys look so good together, and we're like, ah, yeah, yeah. Like, we just laugh, we're just like, it's funny. But yeah, I mean, I've been getting a lot of amazing new followers as well that follow Johnny, and they're so nice. And I'm just I just I'm shocked with so many things that like have been coming in lately, or just people saying things. I'm just like, oh my Jesus, this is so crazy.
Okay, okay, okay. Johnny's in here saying that you did great. Now, Johnny and I are in agreement that I'm gonna learn how to play the piano, and him and I are gonna go on tour across the country one day. So, I don't know, Giselle. Maybe you could go come along with us. I don't know.
I would love to.
I'll talk to Johnny. I think I could pull some strings and get you to come along with us. Don't worry, girlfriend. I got you. Don't trip about that. But okay, so now that you got your first music video behind you, you have other songs locked up in the bank. Any plans of making music videos for any of those songs?
We are gonna make music videos. They were just talking to me about that, and I was like, wait, times, can we do this? Can I get like a little? Can I change a little things before we do it? And they're like, stop. And I'm like, okay. But we actually, and we have about like I'm working on about four new songs. No, maybe three new songs that should be getting released. Four new songs that will be getting released soon. I actually I have to go into the studio on Monday, but I'm excited because I believe I'm bringing my daughter along, so she's going to do background vocals, so I'm excited.
Um, did Rosie give you flowers for singing that song? Did Rosie say like, "Hey, you know what? You knocked it out the park."
Well, Johnny told me that I believe it was Cazelle. He was nervous because she wanted to reach out to Cazelle, and that Johnny wanted to be the one to tell me. And he said that it brought back a lot of memories, and that she was really happy with it. And I was just like, wow, like I got chills. And that's something that you can't, like, if for somebody to compliment you, because if you don't do it well, and they're gonna get upset, and you don't want to upset anyone, especially like you're reenacting them. And every song that someone sings, it all has a meaning to it, to them. And that's why, like I say, any song I sing, I have to be able to relate to it, and so that way you could actually sing it with feeling. Because what's a song that you sing if you can't even really sing what you're, or you can't even mean what you're singing? That's just silly.
When the song itself was presented to you, I know we talked about the music video, but the song itself, were you down with it, or were you a little
Oh,
bit like, taken back by it?
no, absolutely, I was 100% down with it.
Okay.
I because I've been in that place before to understand about, like, you not having somebody, and the happiness. And it's sad.
How much time, because I wanna get to a question, but before I do that, I wanna ask you this question. How much time did it take up for you to be going overseas and performing and coming back? I mean, it seems like that took up a lot of your life.
You're gonna think I'm ridiculous for the way I traveled. So, if I had a gig on a Saturday, I'd fly out on a Thursday, get there Friday, work with the band for maybe an hour, boom, change, go to the out Friday night, go to bed, wake up, do a sound check, and straight to stage to be on a plane Sunday and come home.
Okay.
I mean, there's times that I was on tour before. I went on tour twice for a month, and I said I would never do it again. It was not anything bad towards anyone. It was the first time my daughter, I believe she was in kindergarten, and I felt like the worst mother in the world for leaving my daughter. And my mom was like, "This is a job. It's okay. She's with me and her dad. Like, she's fine." And I felt so guilty that I left so much clothes at my friend Jackie and Sylvia's house, and like one of my luggages ended up being all toys because I felt so bad. And I was like, "What do I buy? Like, I just want to buy her stuff. I feel horrible." And then
Mhm.
the second time I did it, I just Bella was in I want to say she was a sophomore in high school. And at that point, like, I was so homesick because I am very, like, my family's everything to me, and my daughter and I are like, we're like chicle, like we're stuck like glue. And I would call her and she was in dance, and I'd be like, "Hey Bella, like, what are you doing?" She's like, "Mom, I gotta go. I have practice." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, and I would be like, "I just miss my family. Like, I miss my kid. I want to go home." And I always felt bad because when I'd cry, I'd be like, "I promise I'm grateful for being here. I just really miss my kid. Like, I just miss her. I want to see her." So yeah, it was hard. So I never really traveled too long because I wanted to be home.
Okay. So you just flew out there just for the gig and then came back. You wouldn't go out there and do a few shows and then come
But
back?
I had to.
Okay.
I would really, I did it to a point where I had to make it clear, like, do not ask me to play around June 9th because that's my kid's birthday. Don't ask me to play June 18th. That's my mother's birthday. Like, I would leave for my brothers. I'm not gonna lie, but uh, I've been gone for maybe 2 weeks most. I want to say, like, after the month things. So like 2 weeks would be fine for me, but I would still call every day, like FaceTime my daughter. And if I'm not FaceTiming her, like, it's funny because my daughter's 19, and to this day, like, I was at work today and I was like, "Dude, I'm working." And she's like, "Mom, da, da, da." I was like, "I said I'm working." And she's like, "Okay." And I heard her say, "I love," and I hung up the phone, and she texts me, "Wow, mother of the corn, you don't even text me I love you back." And I'm like, "Oh." Like, just Bella, stop. We always met each other.
Oh man, my youngest one is 19, but I don't have any daughters. He's a son. So when him and I we chop it up pretty often as well. So the question what I want to ask you, do you feel like you have more time on your hands now to dedicate to your singing career, or has it all been the same?
No, I'm about I don't know. I've been single for 3 years, and I pretty much have devoted my time to music. That's why now I've been recording more and singing new stuff and writing finally. And I just told myself, like, you're 37 years old. Um, you have nothing to worry about. Your daughter, she's her own young adult. Like, obviously, I'm going to worry about her all the time, but she has a job. She went to school. She was going to school, just finished. Like, what you have to do, what you always wanted to do now. It's your turn. Like, you can do that now. And like my mom, if it wasn't for my mother who always believed in me, I don't know. Like, she always, like, when I would talk negative about it, like, I think I'm done, mom. Like, I think I'm just gonna, like, that's it. She'd be like, don't be dumb. No, like, don't do that. Like, she would like talk everything into me. And I'm like, you know what, mom, you're right. I'm not gonna give up. Like, I can't even give up. This is what I love to do. Like, okay. So my mom's always been like that woman that I needed in my life. Like, the only times I would get kind of annoyed, and she knows it, but I know why she would do it, was my mom would stand in the front of the stage and she'd be like, and I'd be like, that meant like sing from your stomach. You're not using your stomach. Like, do it from the heart. And I'm like, mom, like, I'm like, making faces while I was on stage. My mom, like, I know my daughter's voice. And I'm like, she does. She does.
Okay, so it sounds like mom was always on board. Was your family always on board? Even when you first started singing, was your family always on board, or were they like, "Okay, come on, like there's a hobby of yours, like find a career."
So my mom would find ways to get me to sing, but like she never, like she said, she knew how much I loved it, that she didn't want to force me to do it because she didn't want me to hate it. So she just let me do it at my pace. And she would get me, like, she got me a gig to sing at all-star boxing matches, and I would do the national anthem, and like Fally Fell, Big Boy would be there when Big Boy was big. Like, it was different. And my mom, she was my biggest fan always. And then my older brother, like, as tough as he looks, he's always like, my sister's my favorite singer. And then my little brother, he's like, that's my sister. Like, so they've always been my hype mans. My dad, I don't think, like, he didn't really, not that he didn't believe in me. My dad just was like, get your head out of the clouds, you need to be a lawyer or a doctor. Or And I think for the first time I got on this show, I forgot the name of it, but it was a Mexican show, and it was kind of like an MTV thing. And I went to go play, and my dad seen it on TV, and he was like, you actually could really sing. And I was like, well, dad, like, thank you for noticing. Like, it kind of hurt my feelings because I was like, come on, man. Like, my grandpa would always be like, "Mi Carmen, ¿dónde está?" Because I'd always be singing and dancing, and he'd be like, "Guess like this girl just doesn't know how to stay put." Because I'd be like just dancing and singing and always in a good mood and always smiling. And like, they always say, like, she wakes up so happy it's annoying, and I'm like, I don't mean to be, but yeah, like, music's everything. So for my dad, like, now he's just like, Giselle, like, what are you doing now? And I'll tell him what I'm doing and send him songs. But my mom, it's my mom. She's always been my hype man, and my brothers. Um, the music background also, it comes from my mom's side, the DeAndas. So yeah.
Okay, okay. When you said, it was like sort of a Mexican MTV. I'm sure you meant the old school MTV, not the MTV of today, where it's nothing but reality shows and
No,
stuff
it
like
was
that.
videos back then. Those.
Hey kids, listen. Once upon a time, MTV actually did have music on it. You would wait to just to watch your music video, whatever it was, man. But it was good times. So, okay, so you got a little bit more time on your hands to go ahead and pursuing this career. So, what's the biggest gig that you've played here in the States, not across the pond, but here in the States? Have you played at anything big? Have you opened up for anybody yet? I'm sure it's if not, I'm sure it's coming sometime.
I can't even. I'm trying to think of what big gigs, because I've done like Ink and Iron, and that's a big tattoo festival that they used to have at the Queen Mary. Um, Geez, what else? I'm trying to think. Something big. I mean, I recent 2 years ago I did something big, but it wasn't a show. So there's this really popular cartoon out on Netflix right now.
Mm.
It's called The Cuphead Show. It's a like little vintage looking cups, and it's like it like looks 60s ish. So I did the theme song to that, and it was pretty cool.
Hold on, wait a second. That is big. So you did a theme song for a cartoon?
Yes.
Oh man. Okay. Hey, bravo to that girl. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. I don't know the cartoon, but you know what? I'm gonna check out the theme song. I'm gonna
Okay.
check out how did that come across your table there?
So during COVID, it was funny because I would get a lot of random DMs and like you don't pay attention to them because you're like this is probably junk mail, whatever.
Mhm.
And then I pop up not just on my IG inbox, but like in my requests on my Facebook, and I was like, all right, wait a minute, I seen this name on my IG, like who is this guy? So I read it, and it's like, oh, my name, and I'm a part of Netflix, and I was like, yeah, right, liar, and I just kind of like put it aside. And then I was like, hey, Nina, can you tell me who you think this is? And my Nina looked at me, like, no, he's from he's from Netflix, and I was like, oh. So I was like, oh, hello, how are you doing? And he made it seem like I got the part. He wanted to just use me for the part. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went with Horacio Perez, my guitarist, and he was like, hey, like Trish Toledo has a studio in her garage, like let's record it there, like the what they want you to sing. And I was like, okay, cool. So we did it in her garage, and from there I sent it in, and I didn't hear anything from them. And then I was like, a week later, I was like, hi, like, did you like my demo? Did you not? Like, on. And a week, he said, we'll get back. And they did. And he was like, chose to go with you. And I was like, oh, it was an audition. Like, oh, okay, cool. And I remember yelling so loud, like, oh my God. Because I'm not going to lie. Like, every time, anybody that truly knows me knows when I'm excited or something funny, like fun happens, like, I just do this funny yell. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And I asked them, like, how did you hear about me? And the one friend that wanted to genuinely like really help me passed away. He was a part of the label that I was on, and he he wanted to help me. And when he passed away, I was like no one's gonna help me write music ever. Like that was the only person that wanted to help me. And they told me that the day that they seen me sing at his benefit show is when they were like, what about that girl from the benefit show? So I was like, dang, like even though he passed, like he still helped me. Like it was real crazy.
Okay. So what's the name of this cartoon?
It's called The Cuphead Show.
The Cuphead Show. I'm typing that sucker in right now so I don't forget. The Cuphead Show.
A lot of video gamers would know it because it was a video game first, I believe.
Ah, okay, okay. So, man, oh yeah, okay, I see it coming up right here. Okay, so man, maybe I should change this title that I got the star of the theme song of the Cuphead Show, one Miss Gizzelle DeAnda. Let's give it up for her, man. Okay, okay. Hey, get down, girlfriend, get down. So let's talk about music, writing. You just mentioned writing and somebody helping you. What's up? I saw on your Instagram you're writing a song or recording a song that means a lot to you. You gave like a small little demo live. What's up, girl? Talk to us. Talk to us about the writing. Talk to us about music. What's in the future for one Miss Giselle DeAnda?
So I wrote a song day on my break. I was super frustrated because I kept getting calls from my past, and like I was just so angry. And I just started writing, and I was like, I told the guys, I was like, this is a song that I wrote. It's gonna be a song. I was like, it's gonna be called Set Free. Like that's it. This is a song. And I told them, but at the time the band that I was working with, they're just like, yeah, okay. So then my friend Horacio that I started working with, I was like, hey dude, like I have this song that I came up with. He's like, okay, we're gonna figure it out. Don't worry about it. We'll write a song to it, like to go with it. And I was like, oh, okay, just that like that. Like, all right. Then one day I was staring at my daughter. I know it's ridiculous. I totally love her. I am very cheesy, so yes, I'm very in love with her. She's the love of my life. And I was just looking at her, and I wrote a song about her, and it's basically talking about like everything she means to me. And I wrote that song, and then I have another song about like just uh being treated like someone's decoy, like just yeah. So a lot of songs, like I said, the song that I gave a little sample to, it's I believe it was the Irma Thomas song. And that song, it touched me a lot because being in a relationship where you're so in love with somebody, you're always trying to be the person to make it right, and like how they could get you to just come to them when they need you, even though you shouldn't. Like that song, like it basically says like times have changed, like you can't hurt me no more, and like if you were to snap your fingers basically now, it wouldn't be the same, so don't even try. So it's really, I like songs that have, like, again, stuff that I could relate to.
And I think a lot of people can relate to something like that. Male and
And
female, I think, have gone through something like that. Hey, Giselle, are you the only one in your family that sings or is part of anything, instruments or anything of that nature that's in the music industry?
so I have a lot of my aunts. I had an aunt back in the day when she was younger, and she used to get asked to sing on the radio, but of course, it's very inappropriate for a female to sing on the radio. Back, I want to say like the 50s, because my aunt sang ranchera style. Grandpa was like,
Okay.
"Body, are you gonna sit there and sing on the radio? That's very unladylike." And then
Mm.
my daughter sings. My mom said that her grandmother, which is my grandfather's mom, that they all sang. My aunts, his sisters sing, and my cousin, she was a part of Neptune's. Her name's Vanessa Marquez. She did the "Rock Your Body" song with Justin Timberlake.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
music is it's on the DeAnda side.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Got you. I remember since you brought up, women in radio. My mom used to sing, and I remember, I was a little kid, man. I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, and my brother and I, he's 4 years older, we waited for her song to come out on the radio, and when it did, it was just we had, like it was like a little celebration right there in the bedroom. We're like, "Hey, look, mama singing." It was so cool just to know that my mom, made it on the radio. It was awesome, man. Fast forward so many years, and it's just really cool to see you and so many other artists really getting out there, getting that shine and growing, and I think this is a very important time. I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm hearing, but more important than that, I love what I'm feeling. The music that you're putting out there, along with so many other, like my boy Johnny David. Like I said earlier, I close my eyes, I feel the music. I'm like, well, yeah, yeah, that hits. That hits hard right there. So, man, Giselle, you know what, girl? We could keep on going and going and going, but I just wanted to bring you on here and talk to you a little bit. Wanted to find out a little bit more about you. um, you definitely got it. You got it. Whatever it is, that's what you got. It. So, um, what I know I asked what do we got to look forward to, but you are gonna be doing some more, you are gonna be doing some music videos.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's coming up next year? We're already running into the end of 2023. I do want to talk to you about Christmas in a little bit, but any big plans for 2024? This time next year, Gizzelle DeAnda had accomplished, what?
So I'm excited because we are gonna have a debut show with the new band, that obviously the Gizzelle DeAnda band, and I really don't like the fact that it's just, because I was like, can't we just have a band name? But yeah, so we're gonna have our debut show, hoping to aim for February 4th, because we'll be getting back from Texas. I got nominated for an award in Texas, and it's really cool. And I just genuinely hope that for 2024 we could really play great venue shows. I don't like, it doesn't, any show really, any show, just to get out there and just have more originals out. And I don't even know. I just hope that we get to play more. I'll be super grateful for that.
Yeah. How about breakout year?
How about
2024. Yeah, like everybody now knows Gizzelle DeAnda. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So let's talk a little bit about Christmas. You are a Christmas freak, from what
yeah.
I understand. Okay, look, you're not alone. People don't know this, but every time Christmas comes around, I'm like, hey, what do you mean Clark Griswold? He ain't no Christmas freak. I'm the Christmas freak. So how is it? But there's blasphemy on your side, girl, because you're over there putting up Christmas trees in the month of October. Talk to us a little bit about
Oh,
that. When do you
so-
decide to start putting up Christmas decorations like before even Halloween?
okay, so my tree normally go up that early. I have a big thing where I'm against fake trees, and of course, I broke that this year, and I'm so mad at myself.
Oh,
But okay, so I always tell my mom like, a fake tree, really? What is this? I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like my grandpa would have never let this fly. Like, mm-mm.
mm,
And this year, my daughter, we have this really sick problem going to Hobby Lobby. Like we're just like, I'm always like, no, we shouldn't go. It's a bad idea. That or Home Goods. I'm like, no, Jezebel, it's not a good idea. And she's like, come on, mom, let's just go. I'm like, all right, let's go. And sure enough, we always buy things. Well, that day, the trees were on sale, and I was like, mom, I'm not into fake trees, but this one actually looks pretty fluffy. Like I think I like it. And and I was just thinking like last year I think I spent $200 on my tree. So it was bad. And I'm that person. Like I could go to a tree farm and be like, I'll be standing there and my daughter's like, this one. I'm like, nope. I'm like, can you cut this one open? I'm like, no, wait, don't even bother. This one's skinny from here. Look, I need it to be fat from here, thinner here. And they're like, what? And I'm like, trust me. So the guys will laugh and I'm like, that's my tree. It's not even ripped open, but that's my tree. And sure enough, they rip it open. They're like, how did you know it's gonna be so fluffy? I was like, you gotta look at the way it's sealed. That's why. And they just laughed. They're like, she's crazy. But so this year I got a fake, but I have a bunch of pine smells, like a bunch of like tree plugs because I was like, it has to still smell like a Christmas tree. And everyone so eager to see it in person again. So I opened it up and they're like, tell me you're not gonna leave it. I was like, fine, I'll make it look like Halloween. It didn't happen. I started to like spray paint like things that I liked and to make it black. And I was just like, oh, it's so dark. I was like, no. I was like, we'll make it a country Christmas already. So I like made it all country looking and I yeah, and then to do my Christmas lights, I've had my guy friends are like, Giselle, let me help you. I'm like, yeah, okay. Next thing you know, they're like, hey, did you need help with your lights? I'm like, nope, I already put them up. Like I did it myself. Like it's just I get so excited, and then I'll always call my sister-in-law, and I'll be like, hey, like, can the boys come over? So I, my godson, his brother, and sometimes his sister, they'll come, and I'm like, come on, guys, help me put up the lights. And they end up leaving me, but just I like to include them because they're still little.
okay. 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 Yeah, I'm a real Christmas tree guy. Every year I always go real Christmas tree, but I can't do anything Christmas till December 1st. That's just the way I roll. But let me
Okay,
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
normally before Thanksgiving or right after, but I always want to go before boys.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you a couple of rapid fast questions. There's no wrong answer. You just tell me what's the right answer for you.
Okay.
What is your favorite tamal?
Oh, the rajas, the cheap
Okay.
ones.
Okay. Cake or pie?
Depends. A carrot cake, if it's carrot cake, and if it's pie, there's this one that Marie Callender's has, and it's like some kind of blueberry, like razzle dazzle. I don't know. I don't even know the name of it. But if they get the wrong one, I'm like, that's not the one. It has like,
Okay. Okay. So if you had to choose between those two,
oh, it
carrot
depends.
cake and that blueberry pie, whichever one you're
If
talking
it's
about.
carrot cheesecake, I'll choose a carrot cheesecake.
Okay. 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 Got you. All right. Favorite meat in a taco?
Oh, I don't know. That's hard. Well, I guess al pastor.
Oh,
Well, no, I don't know. It depends. Al pastor is what I pretty much go for though all the time.
all right. Okay. Cat or dog?
I have both. But my cats are like dogs. It's weird. I have two cats and I don't like I'm just staring at one right now because I can't stand that he always looks so comfortable and I'm just like, you little jerk. Like they snore and everything. It's not fair.
Okay.
Okay, my
Okay.
dog. My dog.
All right. Dog. Okay. Swimming pool or jacuzzi?
It's kind of hard. Jacuzzi. No swimming pool.
Okay. Why swimming pool?
because you could. It's more like you could have more people in it. Jacuzzis are more like of a like okay, relaxing, like that's it. But a jacuzzi, you gotta hang out, have fun, throw somebody in.
I agree. I think the jacuzzi is much more relaxing, but you can do a lot more with a pool.
Absolutely,
Yeah, you can do a heck of a lot more with a pool. When we talk about weather, we both live in Southern California, hot or cold.
totally cold. I'm a hoodie girl.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. Especially here in SoCal. Yeah, pick the cold. I don't want the heat. Screw
Yeah,
that, man.
'cause then you have to do things in the heat. You're like, Jesus, it's so hot.
Yeah, look, we don't live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where the cold is a whole nother animal. No, we live in SoCal. I pick the cold. Yeah, of course. It's so much easier to stay warm. But all right, Giselle. Well, girlfriend, I'm gonna leave the last words to you. Any shout outs to anybody listening, anybody who watches this, any youngster who watches you and says, like, hey, I want to be a singer too, some young girl. Any shout outs, any last words, anything, Giselle DeAnda, the floor is yours, homegirl.
To anybody that wants that has a dream, live it. Don't ever stop. Don't ever give up on it. Don't let anything get in the way to that. In the way of that, because the wrong turn could definitely lead you a whole different way. So just always keep your mind set to what you want in life. For everybody that supports us, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Everybody that takes the time to listen to our music, even just to listen to us today, I appreciate it with all my heart. I want to thank my mom for always being there. I want to thank everybody, Horacio Perez, the band, for being like family and making everything comfortable. And again, just everybody that's there for us and supports us. We are so grateful.
As always,
Oh,
familia.
and I love you, Bella, my baby, if she's listening. Sorry.
As always, familia, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings and always keep a safe distance. Blood makes your day, but loyalty makes family. Until next time, this is the Thecholotrucker for the queen of Rockabilly One, Miss Giselle DeAnda. Over and out.